How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tales to Give You Goosebumps. This is special edition number 1, and for a lot of the other Goosebumps special editions, like special editions from like Most Wanted or something, they would simply be thicker books. But the original series Goosebumps, their special editions were actually quite different. This is Anthology Horror. The back of the book says, "Reader beware, you're in for 10 scares." So yeah, 10 short stories by R.L. Stine. This book came out in October of '94, so right in time for Halloween. And overall, this is really fun. I was super excited when I went down to my used bookshop and I saw this sitting on the shelf because I'd been really curious what Goosebumps would look like in anthology format. And plus, on this front cover, we get one of the first appearances of Curly the Skeleton, Goosebumps' mascot character. I think he's on the cover of all the anthology books. I do want to say, since this is his first appearance, they didn't quite nail down his look. In later appearances, he has his mohawk and his glasses. Here he's kind of just floating, but I think fans said if Curly's on all the other covers, this must be him here as well. But yeah, he looks a little different in his first official appearance. I know the marketing team in the back of the book went back and said that Curly was the skeleton on Say Cheese and Die, even though I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, his first real one on this cover. Pretty cool. But anyway, I read through the book, and I really did like it, and I was wondering, how well Goosebumps stories would transition into being short stories, because they're already pretty short, 120 pages, not super long, but I was really surprised at how little was lost. There's lots of creative and good ideas in here, and there's definitely a few of them that when you get to the twist, when you get to the fun ending or the crazy creature, so many of these things I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that for quite some time. There's lots of crazy, cool ideas in here. The stories are only about 10 to 15 pages, but they do such a great job of establishing like a whole Goosebumps story, cutting down the fat and getting right to the point. The worst ones in here, it did take me a second. I did my notes and I flipped through the book again. And there was one or two that I got a little hazy on. But for the most part, when I was writing my notes for this, I was just going, oh yeah, I love that story, or oh yeah, I love that story. There was some really cool stuff. And also one fun thing with this book is darker endings. It's this sort of thing with fiction where the more time and investment the reader or viewer or whatever puts into the story, the more they expect it to have a better ending. That's why the Lord of the Rings trilogy had like 9 endings. But it is a fun thing when you do short stories. It's not as much of an investment, and in turn, you're not upset really, and sometimes it's kind of fun when the stories have a super dark ending. The story in here, Click, oh my gosh, Click has really a super dark ending, and I'm like, oh gee, we're just gonna do that, okay, cool. So I thought that was fun as well. It really adds to the unpredictable nature. There are some things that it looks like a dark situation, and the characters find their way out, and they get a halfway decent ending. Then there's others, and you don't know which ones they'll be, that they get completely screwed over. And that's fun, not knowing, Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about each story. I don't want this video to get too terribly long, so I'm going to do mini reviews for each story, but I'll try not to dwell on any one too long, because if I talk for 10 minutes, if I talk for 5 minutes about each story, this video would be 50 minutes long. So let's do super quick mini reviews. House of No Return. a bunch of kids have a thrill club, and in order to get into the thrill club, you have to spend an hour in a haunted house. There's one of their friends they really want to join. He doesn't want to do it, but they kind of trick him into it on Halloween night. I love that we're opening with a Halloween story. I love that we're opening with a haunted house story. And a fun way that this story plays out. But yeah, sending him in, not knowing how he's doing. A cool idea. This was the first one I read because it's the first one in the lineup. I thought it was really cool. But then in retrospect, looking at all the other crazy ones, it's not the best one. And I opened it up. I thought, oh, we're doing cool stuff. But it gets better from here. Story 2, Teacher's Pet. Classic R.L. Stine concept. These kids get a new teacher, and the teacher is obsessed with snakes and starts to fill the classroom with glass snake tanks. And they're everywhere, and they're making the main girl super nervous. And they're going to try to hatch a plan to get out of this, only to uncover the absolute wacky truth here. And it really does feel like a whole Goosebumps book compressed into this little thing. And I love the pun, Teacher's Pet, literally referring to their pets. And I do love the real world concept because, okay, your teacher has a pet. That's really cool. But man, I think I had at least one teacher that had a snake, and I was always eyeing that thing out of the corner of my eye. It's just kind of creepy, you know? So I do love the real world aspect that blends seamlessly into the wacky Goosebumps moments. This one was good. 3, Strained Peas. This kid gets a baby sister, and when the parents bring it home, it has a strange birthmark, and he starts to suspect, what if my baby sister is evil? Things start happening, he blames them on the baby, the parents don't believe him. It's a little bit kind of standard, but it did have a really fun ending and some fun, crazy moments, and who doesn't love creepy babies and horror? Not the best, but I liked it. Number 4, Strangers in the Woods. A girl has to spend the summer with her great aunt. The great aunt's acting a little strange and not herself, and I really do love that it's the tiny things, like the food she makes doesn't taste quite right. She sees some lights in the woods late at night, the dog is upset, and she starts to suspect aliens. She sees the lights in the sky and goes, oh no, what if my great aunt has been replaced by a pod person? You know, the alien replacement subgenre, not done too terribly often, but it's always super fun and cool to see it here. And again, cool that it's the little things like the cooking not tasting quite right. This one was fun. After that, Good Friends. You get this boy, and he has a mean older brother. He has a best friend as well, and the best friend is kind of mean to his little sister. The little sister has an imaginary friend, and the main character's best friend starts to pick on her for that, you know? Hey, you shouldn't be playing with a best friend, an imaginary friend. You're too old for imaginary friends. You gotta cut it out, and we're gonna tease you. But of course, this is Goosebumps. There's going to be more to it than that, and it is kind of a twisty thing, you know, towards the end. I thought it was kind of cool. It's not as big and over the top and in your face as a lot of other Goosebumps wacky stories are, but it did have an interesting concept, what's going on with the younger sister's imaginary friend. It is something that, again, kids do, but what if we took it into a horror movie? And I thought it was pretty fun, but not the most memorable thing ever. After that, we get story number 6, and this is called How I Won My Bat. This one was a pretty interesting story. There's this kid who's like a really good baseball player, but out of nowhere he gets on a slump and he just can't play right anymore, and a mysterious man shows up with a special bat and says, hey, I'll lend you the bat for a game, but you have to bring it right back after. And of course, the bat is special. He plays amazingly. He doesn't want to give it up. And I really like how this book concludes. You have the obvious setup, the stranger with a gift and a mysterious condition. Really love that. But I also love how when you get to the end of the book, when you get to the end of this short story, reread the first couple lines. Totally changes the context there. I really like that. This one was fun. After that, we get story number 7, and this one's called Mr. Teddy. And this girl is a collector. Her room's full of, teddy bears and stuffed animals and dolls, and she has stuff everywhere, and she begs her mom for a new teddy bear. Oh, what about your old one? No, I need a new one. And once she gets the new teddy bear, things start to happen in her room. Stuff gets knocked over, toys get broken. At first she blames her jealous sister, but she starts to wonder, what if it's not her? What if it's the new teddy bear? A classic haunted toy story, but when you get to the end and you find out what this story is really about, I'm like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. Why did I not see that coming? And I really do like endings like that pull something super obvious and you wonder, why did I not see that? How did you get that past me? I thought this one was cool as well. Up next, Click. Click is about this kid. He's obsessed with TV. His father brings home a special universal remote. And when his sister accidentally throws it against the radiator and he tries to fix it, well, something went wrong because now the remote controls reality. Yeah, a short story called Click about a reality controlling remote. I think Adam Sandler might have knocked this one off later on. Obviously, that was very different in the specifics, but the title and the base concept can't help but notice. But anyway, unfortunately, a device so powerful is given to a child, and he starts to mess with things in school. What if I mute you? What if I fast forward through this? What if I, just start to pause people? It's some crazy concepts, but again, this spirals towards the end. Like I hinted at earlier, where this story goes, yeah, it really goes for the ending there. But anyway, number 9, second to last one already, Broken Dolls. Broken Dolls is a story that goes off the rails in the best way. You get this girl, she collects dolls, and the brother has too much energy. He's running around and breaking her dolls. Well, they go to a local farmer's market or fair or, a small little marketplace, and they find a woman who has way too realistic dolls. Impeccable detail. She's selling them, and when the brother starts to be rambunctious around her, takes him aside, gives him a cookie, and then, when the brother comes home, he starts to not be as rambunctious. He slows down. He gets stiffer. He doesn't talk as much. His face is getting pale. I think we know where this story is going. But I really do like, it's not just, because I was worried it would just be like, oh no, my brother is screwed, the end. But no, the girl tries to do something about it and tries to fix the situation, and when she tries to defeat the evil, we get some wacky sequences towards the end with an ending that the absolute ending scene of the story is a little bonkers, but I do love it as well. And then the last one, A Vampire in the Neighborhood. They are these group of friends, and this new girl comes to their school. She's kind of pale, she's dressed a little old-fashioned. They think the new girl might be a vampire, and they start to get a little obsessed with her. They try to be friends and she stays away. They follow her to her house and it looks like she lives in a haunted house all alone. What's up with this creepy girl? Is she a vampire? Can we find out? Can we prove it? And plus the ending to this one, it really, again, like the ending to Mr. Teddy, is something that when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It really is, you know, plus doing a story about vampires, this really is a super classic anthology horror story, and a cool note to go out on, even though I think, man, what's my favorite? Probably Clickin' here. There's lots of good stuff looking back on this collection and going, oh yeah, this one, or oh yeah, that one. There's just a ton to love in this, and I would definitely recommend it. I really want to get, I think they made 6 of these. I really want to collect them all, even though I hear that number 6 isn't the best one, but I really think Goosebumps holds up in short story format. And they made 6 of the special editions and then the 2 triple header ones. So I really want to try to grab those up, but it all depends on what I'm able to find at my stores. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my R.L. Stine playlist, where you can see my reviews for a few other Goosebumps books and some Fear Street books as well, plus his new comic, Stuff of Nightmares. So anyway, if you want to see more, a playlist should pop up here. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.